Hello, I'm Kate Holborow, the High Sheriff of Cornwall. It is such a privilege to be here to recognise just some of the phenomenal work of the NHS in Cornwall over the last year. You are no doubt wondering what exactly is the High Sheriff. It is a very ancient role. Historically, we were the monarch's representative with responsibility for all areas of law and order in the county. We collected taxes for the monarch, we presided in courts and could raise an army. We even organised hangings. Thankfully, we no longer have responsibility for taxes or hangings, and the role has happily changed in other ways as well. It is an honorary role which is held for a year. Alongside the Lord Lieutenant, I am the Queen's representative with particular responsibility for the police, the emergency services and the judiciary. Pivoting has been a much used word over the last year, and the NHS is certainly the most impressive pivoter of all, adapting and flexing as the pandemic progressed. In a much smaller but similar way, I have also had to pivot in my role as High Sheriff over the last year. I was sworn in on 22nd of March 2020, and of course on 23rd of March we went into lockdown. So all the traditional activities associated with the public face of the High Sheriff went out of the window. No judges' visits, no mayor-making ceremonies, no Royal Cornwall show, no royal visits, no village events, no church services, no St. Piran's Day processions. But what I did have was a blank piece of paper and an amazing opportunity to do what I wanted to do, which was to get to know, thank and support, albeit virtually, those individuals and organisations which underpin Cornwall's communities. I was always aiming to recognise those doing brilliant work behind the scenes. With the pandemic, this aim became even more relevant. I announced my intention to make High Sheriff Unsung Hero Awards right at the beginning of the year. The idea was to recognise those who work behind the scenes and, with small acts of everyday kindness, dedication and selflessness, go above and beyond to play such a crucial role in our communities. There are so many who deserve recognition and applauding. I was honoured and humbled to receive 42 nominations for the award from the Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust and the Cornwall Partnerships Foundation Trust. The citations make for extraordinary and emotional reading, and I'm so glad that all those nominated, but not selected for an award, received a personal letter from your Chief Executive and a copy of their nomination citation. These individual citations give evidence of huge camaraderie and teamwork. Thank you to all those who went to the trouble, taking time out of your incredibly busy days to make the nominations. At no point does any nomination mention the personal risk that you all accepted so bravely and readily. You take it as a given across the whole of the NHS, but it is most certainly not to be underestimated. And on behalf of Cornwall, I want to thank you all for that. And now we go on to the awards. And Hazel is the administrative support to the Children's Community Therapy Team, and she's been nominated by Julie Dutson, the Children's Community Dietitian. I don't think you've heard the citation yet, so I'm going to read that out for you, and you're going to be able to have a copy of it afterwards.
Thank you.
Hazel has worked tirelessly over the last year to ensure that our community physiotherapists, occupational therapists and dietitians can continue to give support and care to children in the community. She has enabled and supported all staff in the use of Attend Anywhere, WeTransfer and complete virtual and technical induction programs that are now being used as a template in many other trusts and even by universities. She has led the way for our team and others in new areas of technical enabled care that we had never heard of before March 2020. She is forward-thinking, practical, immensely caring, and always happy to help with a smile. Congratulations, Hazel. You're a very deserving recipient.
Thank you.
Do you want to take the award?
Thank you very much.
Oh, not at all. Now if you just look at the camera. Finished.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very well deserved. Now this grant recipient is actually one of two who had the same nomination. But first of all, I'd like to welcome Matthew Overton. And Matthew, or Matt, is, works for the Trust-wide Incident Command Centre, and he was nominated by Robin Jones, Acting Director of Operations. So thank you, Matt. So Matt has worked tirelessly and selflessly since the initial cases of COVID were identified in January 2020. He has set up and managed, with Gavin, who we're about to hear from, our trust-wide Incident Command Centre, which at times has had to run 24 hours a day. He has cancelled leave, made tremendous personal sacrifices to support the whole hospital, prepare for, manage through and recover from the various waves of COVID activity. Without his commitment to the delivery of an effective and engaging Incident Command Centre, we would not have been able to keep all our teams informed of what was going on, and we would not have had the complete join-up of all our services to respond to this challenge as one united organisation. Many people won't know who Matt is, but they will have been impacted in a very positive way from the work that he has done. He embodies the true spirit of the NHS. So congratulations, Matt.
Thank you very much.
I know the first time you've heard your citation, but
It
you
is.
will receive a copy of it.
Thank you very much.
Please do take your award.
Lovely. Thank you very much.
I don't know if you want to say a few words.
I'm okay, thank you.
If you want, we might just get a quick photograph. Thank you.
Thanks very much.
Thank
Thank you.
So I'd now like to welcome Gavin Griffiths to receive his award. Gavin has worked tirelessly and selflessly alongside Matt, who we just heard from, in the trust-wide Incident Command Centre since the initial cases of COVID were identified in January 2020. And he's been nominated by Robin Jones, the Acting Director of Operations, who's written this citation for you, Gavin. He has set up and managed our trust-wide Incident Command Centre, which at times has had to run 24 hours a day. He has cancelled leave and made tremendous personal sacrifice to support the whole hospital prepare for, manage through and recover from the various waves of COVID activity. Without his commitment to the delivery of an effective and engaging Incident Command Centre, we would not have been able to keep all of our teams informed of what is going on, and we would not have had the complete join-up of all our services to respond to this challenge as one united organisation. Many people won't know who Gavin is, but they will all have been impacted in a positive way from the work that he has done. He embodies the true spirit of the NHS. So thank you and congratulations, Gavin.
Thank
and
you
if
very
you'd
much.
like to collect your award. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Just I'm really humbled. Thank you.
I think I'm the one who's humbled, but thank you.
Thank you.
So next up is Vanessa Randall, representing the Clinical Site Coordination team. I think she's the senior manager of the team. And the team was nominated by Robin Jones, the Acting Director of Operations. And I'm just going to read his citation now, Vanessa. This team works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to support the flow of patients through our hospitals, making sure patients get to the right beds for their needs at the right time. They actually go much further than that. And for COVID, they have provided caring and compassionate support to staff, patients and relatives. They have themselves been emotionally impacted by the effects of COVID, but with total commitment have kept providing support to those who need it. They have liaised with families out of hours, they have comforted colleagues who've been distressed by the impact of COVID, and also, when required, sat with patients so they are not alone. Thank you so much for all you've done, Vanessa, and to your team. And I'm absolutely really honoured to present you with you and your team an Unsung Hero Award, if you want to pick up the award.
Thank you.
And would you like to say a couple of
I
words?
would just like to say a massive thank you to my team. They've been absolutely fantastic. I'm really proud of them and they're an absolute asset. Really great.
Very lucky to have you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So for the next award, I'm delighted to welcome Elizabeth Trew, Head of Safety, Risk and Patient Experience. Extraordinarily, well, extraordinary, obviously very well deserving, Liz was nominated by 16 individuals. I'm just going to read out their names, and you'll have a list afterwards, Liz, so you can see it, and also you'll have a copy of the citation.
Thank you.
So you've been nominated by Holly Kiernan, Richard Johnson, Mark Scallon, Lorna Watt, Sarah Popperwell, Shamila Valentine, Helen Ross McGill, Aidan Holmes, Pat Bartholomew, Josh Richards, Laura Solomon, Lauren Hall, Zoe Saunders, Jess Saunders, Joanne Turner, and Joanne Dobson. That's quite a list.
Thank you.
So Liz supports the patient experience team, patient safety and risk teams, and clinical effectiveness, legal information governance teams as well. And on behalf of the above teams, we all want to nominate Liz. We all refer to Liz as Superwoman. As well as heading the teams, she was also instrumental in setting up the Trust's Incident Command Centre at the start of the pandemic, and now also uses her free time to vaccinate the community. Her energy never falters, and she always has time for any person who needs information, some support, or a laugh, often putting the needs of others in front of her own. She always goes above and beyond to help her team and our patients, and we are all so grateful to her for her hard work. So thank you and congratulations, Liz.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Would you like to pick up the award?
Thank you.
I don't know if you want to say a few words.
Yes, I'd just like to say thank you very much. Very humbled by that. This year has been extraordinary, but I couldn't have done any of what I do without my teams, and also, my teams and also the clinical teams who've been absolutely fabulous during this period. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you and your teams. Thank you. So next up, I'm delighted to welcome Adrian Harper, and Adrian is representing the volunteer vaccination team. And Adrian, I'll just read the citation. He's been, because you've been nominated by Verity Barker, you and the team, who's the Voluntary Services Coordinator. So this is what Verity wrote about you. Reason for nomination: a fantastic volunteer team, in capital letters. They didn't exist until December, and then what a response, 2 exclamation marks. They were asked to cover 2 sites 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. Over 60 volunteers materialised, aged between 17 and 73, and to date haven't missed a shift. Whether welcoming patients or observing post-vaccination areas and wiping down chairs, this incredible volunteer team have undertaken whatever is asked of them. They have been welcomed and made to feel part of the vaccination team. We couldn't have done it without them, and I would really love to recognise this fantastic, dedicated team who, like us, all had no idea what COVID was a year ago. So many congratulations, and thank you, Adrian, to you and your team. Do you want to pick up the award on behalf of them? And if you want to say a few words, you could probably you might be able to take your mask off. There we go.
Cheers, thank you. I'd just like to say thank you for the NHS who took care of me last year as I caught COVID, and I would like to thank not just me but the rest of the volunteers who has helped me embrace the importance of the public health, but also it's just not me, but also it's a teamwork skill, and part of the certificate is not just for me, but for all the volunteers who have also had the opportunity to get the same award, and hopefully this will broaden my horizon to exploring more in depth of what NHS means for the public.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
So next up is Anne Beresford, who's a volunteer covering the vaccine trial, Headland Unit, vaccination clinics, Trelawney reception and going home bags. And Anne, you've been nominated by Verity Barker, the Voluntary Services Coordinator, and she's written quite a long citation about you, which I'm about to read out. Okay. So, reason for nomination: a COVID volunteer superstar. 1 volunteer, 5 roles. Anne Beresford is our volunteer superstar. She has undertaken a variety of roles during the pandemic with sensitivity, commitment, and good humour. So, her first role, she took on a regular shift in the Headland chemotherapy unit as a refreshment service volunteer, providing refreshments to patients and, more importantly, being a non-clinical friendly face. In COVID times, twinkly eyes, chatting to those who wanted and acknowledging sensitively those who didn't. She undertook the stock ordering role and mentored new volunteers. Anne is always willing to undertake additional shifts or to stay on longer at short notice if required. She is a fantastic asset to the refreshment service, appreciated by staff and patients. Secondly, Anne supported the vaccine trial at the end of 2020 as a volunteer. She was cheerful and positive throughout the 4-hour shifts, again, always happy to take on additional shifts. And on her third role, as one of our original vaccination clinic volunteers, Anne has covered shifts in both sites at Royal Cornwall Hospital and is on duty every week. She is always keen to help with a positive, friendly approach to the staff and patients. As ever, she guides new volunteers and takes the role seriously and is happy to take on additional shifts. Fourthly, a first again for Anne, who currently covers 2 4-hour shifts as a volunteer on Trelawney Reception, with responsibility for accepting and receipting patient belongings dropped off by family, as no visitors are allowed on site. This is a new role which has only been operating since February, but Anne was keen to help and support, regularly covering a weekend shift and another weekday shift. And last but not least, Anne supports the Going Home Bags project by making up the bags of groceries and distributing them throughout the hospital as required and maintaining stock levels. This is a time-consuming role, but without Anne, we couldn't operate this amazing free service, providing a basic bag of groceries to elderly, frail, and vulnerable patients, which is followed up by an aftercare phone call. Anne donates her time to the hospital practically daily, and she has definitely been our COVID volunteer superstar. We would love her to be recognised for her incredible commitment and support of Royal Cornwall Hospital. So thank you very much, Anne. And this award is very highly deserved. And if we just pick it up, that's great. Thank you. I'm just getting a picture.
Thank you.
So would you like to say a few words?
I've worked for the Trust for many years as a healthcare staff nurse, gone up the ranks. And I've worked on the 3 sites that we have, West Cornwall, St Michael's and here. And I accept what I do on behalf of the patients and the colleagues and all my volunteer colleagues, because whatever we do, what smile we give to that patient in a moment of need makes a difference. I love my job. It's given me a second lease of life once I took my retirement and found I had nothing to do. I decided to come back, and I love every minute of it. I'm here most days, but I see colleagues that I used to work with because we can't meet for lunch. So I love it, and whatever I can do for the patients, colleagues, or anybody in the hospital, I just love it. Thank you. And I thank everybody for this award. Thank you.
Thank you, Anne. We're very lucky to have you in Cornwall. Thank you. So our next recipient is Sheridan, or Cheri Morrell-Davies. And Cheri is Project Manager for Cornwall IT Service, and you've been nominated by Kim Mann, Programme Manager. So I'm just going to read the citation. Cheri has played a key role throughout the pandemic to enable safe ways of working for staff, both in and out of the hospital sites. The unprecedented demand for devices saw Cheri take the lead in managing the distribution of the devices that have been available to support staff to work remotely or scale up to meet the demands of critical care, for example, if they were to expand. This hasn't been an easy task, balancing the overwhelming demand against limited resources, but Cheri has responded to every ask, working closely with teams not only within Cornwall IT services, but across the Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust to understand requirements and manage supply. I cannot stress how difficult this work has been over the last 10 months, and I'm grateful to Cheri for everything she has done and for taking ownership of this. In addition to the device management, Cheri also played a key part in the implementation of the patient pages, which have been used to manage social distancing in waiting areas. I have no doubt that her work in the background during the pandemic has gone some way to helping keep our staff and patients safe. So thank you very much, Cheri, and would you like to collect your award?
Thank you.
Would you like to say a few words?
Can I just say, I really feel it's a team effort, and I know the thanks have gone to me, but without the engineers and the rest of the SITs, we wouldn't have achieved what we have. So really, it's for everyone.
Well done you, and well done everyone. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Please pass our thanks on to the team as well.
Thank you.
So the next recipient of the High Sheriff Unsung Hero Award is the Theatre Direct team, and I'm delighted that Jenna George is here to collect the award on behalf of the team. So, Jenna, you and the team have been nominated by staff nurse Susan Hanford. I'm just going to read the citation that she wrote. What can I say? They are a united, strong, supportive bunch. As an emergency admissions ward, they have had to change their way of working, and the ward flipped back and forth to different gender to facilitate the trust's needs on a daily basis at times. All done with little disruption and only a few grumbles. The patients can be seriously ill in great numbers at any one time by the very nature of the speciality. They look to each other at all times, and it's a great ward to work on, an asset to the trust. Do you sound like an amazing group of people?
Thank you.
So thank you very much, Jenna and team and Theatre Direct team, if you'd like to collect the award.
Thank you.
Move out of here. And if you'd like to say something.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much to all of our staff. We're so proud of each and every one of you. And it's nice to get some recognition for emergency surgery as well. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
So our next award, Unsung Hero Award, I'm delighted to say, is for Sister Clare Wheeler, who works on the Theatre Direct team as well. And she's been nominated by Susan Hanford, a staff nurse. Hello, Claire.
Hello.
And I'm just going to read Susan's citation for you now, and then
Thank
we
you.
can pick up the award. Clare Wheeler has been a calm leader throughout, when I'm sure she's been suffering her own anxieties with young children and home life generally, plus elderly parents. She has supported her own staff and their anxieties. She has also helped support and nurture nervous redeployed personnel, making them feel welcome and part of the team. So much so that this time they're asking to return, and some have even stayed. So congratulations, Claire, and you're certainly a very deserving recipient. Would you like to take the award?
Thank you. I'd just like to thank Sue for the nomination. It means a lot, but I work with such a great team that it just makes it so much easier. So thanks for that.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks.
So the next award, the Unsung Hero Award, is to Laura Reid, who's an Industry Operations Manager. Laura. And Laura has been nominated by Jennifer Broniewski, who's an Edge Data Officer. So I'm going to read her citation, and then you can take the award. When I first started my role, she took the time and initiative to create a training plan for me and has made me feel nothing but welcome and supported at the Trust. She has also been instrumental in the acquisition, set-up, coordination and oversight of the Novavax trial at Royal Cornwall Hospitals Trust, which has been hugely successful and has brought in a large number of participants and funding to the site. Furthermore, she is working with data officers to streamline our workload and set up productive communication between the data officers and clinical research staff and sponsor-based contacts, leading to an increase in data integrity and better management of trust-sponsor relationships. I believe she has gone above and beyond, not only dealing with the ever-changing working landscape that we are all trying to cope with, but also working many consecutive long days to reach all the achievements above, while still always being not only approachable and friendly, but also practical, logical, and highly able to assess situations and find quick and effective resolutions. I would love to see Laura get this award, as it would be a great way to show her that all her hard work is appreciated and recognised by her colleagues and the Trust. So congratulations, Laura. And I can't believe you've only been here since July. That is quite some achievement. Would you like to take your award?
Thank you very much.
And if you want to say a few words.
I just want to thank Jenny for a beautiful nomination, but also I feel I'm incredibly lucky to be part of the wonderful research team. So thanks to everyone there.
Oh, congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye. So our next award recipient is Sarah Griffiths, Chief Technician for Pharmacy Procurement. And Sarah's been nominated by Adam Edwards, the Deputy Chief Pharmacy Technician. I'm just going to read his citation now. I would like to nominate Sarah for her phenomenal personal and professional contribution to our team and service throughout the pandemic. Despite the tremendous pressure we have all experienced, she has remained a towering pillar of strength, leading from the front and driving us through the COVID storm with a relentless commitment to ensuring the provision of pharmaceutical products in an ever-changing hospital environment. This includes playing a key role in the procurement and supply of the COVID vaccines and acquisition of key drugs identified to help combat the effects of the virus. To be able to coordinate this whilst remaining considerate and compassionate to each of our individual needs during these unprecedented times is nothing short of superhuman. A truly deserving recipient of the High Sheriff Award, if ever there was one. Well done, Sarah. Many congratulations. Would you like to collect your award?
All I'd like to say is I couldn't do it without my team. We're just one big team, so this is not just for me, this is for everybody.
Oh, thank you, and thank the team. Well done. So the next recipient of the Unsung Hero Award is Alison Hill, Principal Supply Pharmacist. And Alison, you've been nominated by Helen Maclay, Deputy Chief Pharmacist. I'm just going to read your rather long citation, so take a deep breath. Alison is a critical member of the pharmacy team. Her knowledge goes above and beyond what is expected from a pharmacist. This has been crucial in putting systems in place to ensure that we have the right provisions for oxygen delivery across the Trust during the pandemic, where the demand was expected to far exceed normal usage. Her extensive knowledge has helped with getting the right changes in place with estates and clinical leads. She also liaised with other hospitals across Cornwall to ensure that the right plans were in place. Her extensive report on oxygen provision across Cornwall, which was produced with a very short timeline, is testament to Alison's capability and willingness to go above and beyond her role to ensure that we had systems in place to manage all patients that required oxygen treatment during the pandemic. There are no bounds to the extent that she will go to ensure that we can deliver safe services, including considering Newquay Airport during the first wave as one of the potential sources for oxygen supply, and utilising her IT skills to develop an oxygen monitoring system on radar. We can now view our oxygen levels and usage at the touch of a button, a system that is probably only available in Cornwall. Alison has led on the pharmacy aspect of the vaccine programme and prepared most of the procedures and safety measures required to ensure safe supply of the vaccine. She was the first to volunteer to come in very early in the morning to receive the first batch of vaccine and ensure that it was stored safely. She has set up a tight monitoring system to ensure that vaccines are used within their shelf life once thawed and avoid wastage of such a precious product. Many staff admire Alison and they aspire to be like her. She is a role model in our department and her positivity goes a long way to improving staff morale. No matter how busy she is always very calm and professional and willing to support staff to ensure their well-being. Her dedication to improving services for the benefit of patients is exemplar. Alison is a huge asset to this trust and we would be lost without her fountain of knowledge. Thank you very much, Alison. That's quite some citation. Would you like to collect your award? Let's get some pictures. Would you like to say anything?
I just wanted to say that, you know, this award really does go to everyone in pharmacy because absolutely everyone has contributed to the vaccine effort and thank you very much for having me.
Well, congratulations. Thank you to the team as well.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. So I've got a string of nominations for the next award. I'm very happy and delighted to welcome Dom Whitting, Senior Healthcare Chaplain, who is going to receive an award both on his own behalf, but also on behalf of the whole chaplaincy team. And we've got quite a few nominations here. You've firstly been nominated by Karen Story, Senior Staff Nurse, and then also by Verity Barker, Voluntary Services Coordinator. And then the whole chaplaincy team was nominated by Beverly Wills. So that's quite some achievement, and thank you all. So I'm just going to kick off with some of these citations. So firstly, this is Beverly's nomination for the chaplaincy team as a whole. They are a magnificent team. Through the whole of COVID, they have gone above and beyond. As soon as the first lockdown happened, they were meeting and greeting staff, listening to woes and worries, and supporting teams across the hospital. I can't praise them enough. I have worked very closely with the whole of the chaplaincy team, with lots of different projects I've been involved in. They give us a daily briefing each day to boost our spirits and to also think of our colleagues. And now this is Karen Story's citation for you, Dom. I would like to nominate the Senior Healthcare Chaplain, Dom Whitting, for the Unsung Hero Award. He certainly goes beyond the call of duty. He was always accessible. When called upon, he was always available to help and arrives onto the ward happy and upbeat, which is good for the morale of the staff. He has shown great care and compassion to the staff during these difficult times and also very importantly to the patients. An example of his commitment to great care is being called to sit with an end-of-life patient at the request of a relative. Dom was telephoned by a staff member and was actually on his way home, but turned round and came back to be with the patient. Myself and several of my colleagues agree that his happy, thoughtful, professional and approachable nature needs to be recognised. Congratulations, Dom. And then this is the citation from Verity Barker. Why Dom? He is a ray of sunshine in a grey COVID world. In his role as senior chaplain, he supports patients, their families and staff. He lifts spirits and is an empathetic listener and a support and comfort to those at the end of their life and a blessing to those starting out in life. Dom offers a safe space to talk and be heard, providing support, refreshment and encouragement. He isn't judgmental and wants you to know you are not alone. He has a great sense of humour and is a great friend to his colleagues who respect and seek his opinion. Dom deserves this nomination to demonstrate how much he is admired and valued by the whole hospital, despite someone drawing a moustache on his photo in one of the lifts. He has worked tirelessly throughout the pandemic, covering weekly on-call shifts and always being available to patients or staff. Whether handing out treats to staff in the evening or sensitively dealing with bereaved family, Dom is a person of integrity and an incredible support to us all in these difficult and challenging times. A well-deserved nomination for a hero in our hospital. That's quite some reading, so many congratulations to the chaplaincy team and to Dom. And would you like to collect your award?
Thank you.
Hopefully we can get a photograph. Is there anything you'd like to say, Dom?
Can I just thank really the whole team? I can remember that first day when COVID struck and we weren't sure what would happen as chaplaincy, but we pulled together and we've done some amazing work. So for Mark, for Sarah, for Andrea, Kieran and myself, it's been an absolute privilege to do what we do.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I mean,
Thank
Cornwall's
you.
very lucky to have you, and I know the hospital and the hospital trust is too, so thank you.
Thank you.
So the next award is a hugely highly deserved one to Iain Davidson, the Chief Pharmacist. And Iain has been nominated by Catherine Andrew, Pharmacy Administration Lead. And I've now got a slightly extensive citation to read, so bear with me, but it's all very heartfelt and really impressive. Iain's leadership and enthusiasm about every aspect of pharmacy is second to none, and he goes above and beyond the expectations of his role. His determination to ensure the best possible outcome for patients is to be commended, always looking for ways to provide a more efficient pharmacy service and increase the patient-facing role for pharmacy staff to optimise care. He is visible and has a full understanding of the challenges that face his staff on a daily basis. His ability to deal with issues that arise and finding the right solutions whilst remaining calm is testament of Iain's extensive knowledge and capability as a great leader. Iain has the pharmacy department at heart and motivates staff through his work ethics to deliver the best possible patient care. He is also an advocate for the Trust Brilliant programme. Iain has put the Trust in the forefront of digital medicine. Thanks to the innovations he has implemented at Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust, Iain is now a recognised figure within the pharmacy world and is often asked to speak at national conferences, flying the flag not only for the pharmacy department, but for Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust as well. Iain is very supportive of staff and listens to their concerns. A number of staff have achieved nominations and awards at regional and national level thanks to his recognition of staff capabilities and supporting them to develop their full potential. He has made a number of changes within the department to improve medication processes and patient safety, in particular through digital technology. He has also used these systems to facilitate work for staff and promote medication safety. His leadership skills and forward vision have been instrumental in maintaining the high levels of services provided by pharmacy at Royal Cornwall Hospital. Following on from the above, Iain has been the lead in the mass COVID-19 vaccination programme for Cornwall, and with the support of his COVID-19 vaccination team, has successfully opened 2 vaccination clinics within the hospital and 2 mass vaccination sites in Cornwall. He has worked relentlessly in the weeks running up to the opening of these clinics or sites with very tight deadlines to ensure that they opened on time and ran smoothly and professionally. The work involving this programme was massive, but Iain undertook every task with his usual determination to succeed and calmness. Iain is always the first to thank others for their efforts, but he should be thanked for leading the mass vaccination programme for Cornwall and making it what it is today. Often senior managers do not get recognised for their achievements as it is expected of them in the senior role they undertake. Iain deserves some recognition for his efforts and commitment in leading the mass vaccination programme the way that he has, and I hope that this testimony to him will help in some way to achieve this for him. So thank you very much, Iain, from Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust, but particularly from Cornwall, and I hope you will accept the award.
Thank you very much indeed. That's very kind. Thank you.
Well, it's very impressive.
Thank you.
And I don't know if you want to say a few words.
Just a huge thanks to Catherine for the nomination, and it's always an honour and a pleasure. It's a great department, it's a great trust to work for, and doing stuff with the vaccination programme has just been, being surrounded by a great team, and it's been really challenging, but it's a great project to work on. So thank you very much.
Not a year to forget, I imagine.
No.
Well, congratulations and thank you.
Thank
That's
you.
Really, and yes, we thank Catherine too.
I will.
It's a beautifully written citation.
It is, isn't it? So thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes.
Very nice to meet you.
Thank you. So our next award recipient is Sally Browne, who's a ward assistant. And Sally has been nominated by Susan Hanford, staff nurse. So Sally, I'm going to read the citation.
Okay.
Sally supports the Theatre Direct and Pendennis wards with ward stock, transfers of patients between clinical areas and general help around both wards. She is invaluable. Through this COVID crisis, the wards have moved 3 times to adapt the hospital due to COVID pressures, and it has been down to her to sort stock, changing whatever the previous ward had as allocation for its speciality to whatever we needed. Can you imagine what a daunting task that was, with every member of staff asking, Sally, where is that? This. Sally, where is that? On one occasion, she had to do this twice in a fortnight, all without complaint. Amazing. It is amazing. So congratulations,
Thank
Sally.
you.
You are a very deserving recipient.
Thank you
If you'd
very
like
much.
to take your
Thank
award.
you.
I don't know if you want to say a few
Thank you.
words.
I'd like to say thank you to Sue, obviously, and thank you to the amazing staff who I work with on Theatre Direct and Pendennis. After 17 years of working here, they're the reason I love my job. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm delighted now to be making a hugely popular presentation of the High Sheriff Unsung Hero Award to Beverly Wills of the Quality Improvement Team. Hello, nice to see your face. Thank you. And Bev has been nominated by Lynn Lees and is for work with the Quality Improvement Team and her support of the Little Shop, which I understand was an initiative in the first lockdown to allow staff access to everyday essentials such as bread and toilet rolls after their shifts at work when they were not able to get to the supermarkets in time. And we were just talking earlier about how really effective and important that was, but also for all you did to support the vaccine rollout. And I know that you coordinated the arrangements for the Little Shop, and it wasn't only sort of coordinating the manning of it and running it, but also liaising with suppliers such as Baker Tom to get the produce in. And you've definitely obviously kept the wheels of staff life and hospital life turning in very difficult and challenging times. So hugely deserving recipient. Thank you, Bev.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to take your award. That's it. Let's take a picture. Would you like to say a few words? Or many?
Keep it to a few. I'm just really privileged to receive this award, and I couldn't have done it with the great team that are around me all the time. So with the QI team, with the Little Shop, and the vaccination team that have been absolutely amazing through getting the people of Cornwall vaccinated and making things safe and making a big difference. So I just really feel privileged, and thank you to the management team as well, for Kate, and for allowing me to be nominated for this. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done. So our last award for the Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust this afternoon is to Sandrea Mosses, who is representing the Health and Safety team. And the Health and Safety team has been nominated for an Unsung Hero Award by Robin Jones, Acting Director of Operations. And what I'm going to do now is just read the citation to you. Our Health and Safety team has been the true unsung hero of COVID. As was widely publicised, there are a lot of changing supplies of the personal protective equipment and on many occasions low stock levels. The Health and Safety team worked almost around the clock, in some instances assessing alternative supplies for staff safety equipment, and they made sure that any protective equipment issued to our staff passed the required standards. In addition, for some of the equipment, staff have to have what is called a fit test to make sure a face mask seals properly to give protection. Each time there was a change in mask supply, all of the staff had to be refit tested. This is many thousand fit tests, all completed by the team and the staff they train to be able to fit test. We all owe a debt of gratitude for the whole Health and Safety team and their unwavering drive for our staff to have the right equipment, meeting the standards and tested for appropriate use. So Health and Safety team and Sandrea representing them, many congratulations and thank you very much. And please, would you like to collect your Unsung Hero Award?
Yeah. Okay, that is lovely, thank you very much. I think it's lovely for the team to be recognised and for this to be, said to them. They were unsung heroes. They did rotas off their own back to make sure that somebody was available, and they came in evenings and weekends voluntary. So I think it is wonderful for them. So thank you very, very much for that. So.
Well, thank you very much. Hello, I'm Kate Holborow, the High Sheriff of Cornwall, and it is such a privilege to be here to recognise just some of the phenomenal work of the NHS in Cornwall over the last year. I was always aiming in my role as High Sheriff to recognise those doing brilliant work behind the scenes, and with the pandemic, this aim became even more relevant. I announced my intention to make High Sheriff Unsung Hero Awards right at the beginning of my year. The idea being to recognise those who work behind the scenes and with small acts of everyday kindness and dedication go above and beyond to play such a crucial role in our communities. And I was honoured and humbled to receive 42 nominations for the award from both the Royal Cornwall Hospital Trust and the Cornwall Partnerships Foundation Trust. The citations make for extraordinary and emotional reading, and I'm so glad that all those nominated but not selected from an award received a personal letter and a copy of their nomination citation. So I'm delighted now to be presenting to the Cornwall Partnership Trust, and I think the first recipient is Jackie Langdon on behalf of the Switchboard at Bodmin Community Hospital. Is that right? I got you there, Jackie?
I am here. I don't know if you can see me.
I can see you and I can hear you. And you have been nominated by Rebecca Manning, Emergency Planning and Resilience Officer. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to read out the citation, and obviously as you're not here in person, I'm going to hold up the award as if I'm presenting it to you, and you then have the opportunity to say a few words if you like, and the award will then be delivered to you by some means afterwards. So Rebecca's citation reads as, "The Switchboard team have worked so hard during COVID, having to adjust to new procedures and information. They are always cheerful and helpful on the telephone, with a wealth of knowledge, and have adapted really well under pressure. They are a key critical service to the running of the organisation, working 24/7 hours. I would love for them to receive some recognition for all the hard work to keeping the ship afloat." So, Bodmin Switchboard, I'm very delighted to present you with the High Sheriff of Cornwall Unsung Hero Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I hope you can see it.
I can, thank you. I would like to just say thank you to the Switchboard team who've worked so hard. It's been quite an emotional time for us all. But I'd also like to say thank you very much to Sharon Butler, to Sarah Bailey, who's been a rock to us, to Vicky Cousins, to Gareth Pitt, and to Neil Hudson, and to all the district nursing teams and the palliative care teams that have kept our spirits high throughout the year. So thank you, everybody.
Oh, it's very well deserved. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
So the next High Sheriff Unsung Hero Award is being presented to the Garner ward team at Bodmin Community Hospital. And I'm delighted to see Karen Williams here to accept the award on behalf of the team. And Garner Ward, you have been nominated by Vicky Browne, a consultant old age psychiatrist. I'm just going to read you her lovely citation. I would like to nominate the team working on Garner Ward at Bodmin Hospital for an Unsung Hero Award. Garner delivers care to people with severe dementia whose behaviour is challenging, for example, because of an aggression or self-neglect. Dementia care is often overlooked. Throughout the pandemic, the Garner team, not just the NHS staff, but the GFM team who provide facilities, cleaning, laundry, food, have been outstanding. When all the nursing homes closed, the team flexed. An empty ward was converted into a pre-discharge unit so that we could keep admitting people in crisis. Above everything, we wanted to avoid people being admitted out of county when things were so difficult. Despite the difficulties of stretching one team across 2 units, the extra unit stayed open for about 6 months. Until January, we had managed to prevent the spread of COVID on the ward, but we had an outbreak then that spread more rapidly than we could contain it. 11 out of 15 patients were infected at the same time, and sadly 8 people died in quick succession. It was devastating for the award and made more difficult to manage because so many staff were infected. At one point, 8 out of 9 staff were off due to illness or self-isolation due to contact with other people. The community team stepped up to support Garner, with people coming in to do shifts. The only regular nurse left worked 84 hours in a week. The whole ward was reorganised to separate those infected from those who did not have it. The team members worked tirelessly. Cleaning was continuous. Staff members used their own phones to allow loved ones to say goodbye to the dying. They played favourite music to people and held their hands. Remarkably, the pre-existing strength of the team meant that morale held up throughout, though there were tears and the odd swear word. Well, Karen and the Garner team, that is just incredible, very, very moving to read, and I think everyone would agree that the High Sheriff Unsung Hero Award is hugely well deserved. And sadly, you're not here in person, but we will get this to you soon, so you can have it on the ward. But I'm delighted to present you with the High Sheriff of Cornwall Unsung Hero Award. And I don't know if you want to say anything.
Well, I'd just like to say that I'm very privileged to work with a fantastic dedicated team, cleaners, doctors, nurses, healthcare assistants, and many, many more. And times like this bring out the best and the worst in people, and I think it's definitely brought out the best in Garner staff. I'd also like to say thank you to all the relatives that have entrusted their loved ones to our care, and we will carry on doing our very best to look after them. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Karen. So anyway, I'm delighted to present the next award to Karen Connor, who is a child and adolescent mental health service learning disability nurse and nominated by Louise Thrower, a specialist occupational therapist. So what I'm going to do, Karen, is I'm going to read Louise's citation and then present you virtually with the award, which we will get sent to you afterwards. And obviously you're then welcome to say a few words. I would like to nominate my colleague, Karen Connor, for the Unsung Hero Award. Karen works as learning disability nurse for children in the Child and Adolescent Mental Health Service Learning Disability Team for Cornwall Partnership NHS Foundation Trust. This is a highly specialist team that supports the most complex of our young people in Cornwall, and I believe Karen is the backbone to the service. Karen is dedicated, passionate, and extremely skilled. Karen works in a family, child-centred manner, helping families in the most challenging situations. Karen is a fantastic advocate for how we best support children struggling with learning disabilities and mental health. Karen advocates for these children's mental health tirelessly, whilst empowering their families and care network. She is truly an exceptional nurse and deserves the recognition. So thank you, Karen, and thank you, Louise. It's very well deserved. And I'm delighted to present you with the High Sheriff of Cornwall Unsung Hero Award.
I'd just like to say thank you so much for thinking of me, accepting this award. I just want to say that the team that I work in is an exceptional team. So we have speech and language therapists, occupational therapists, psychologists, nurses. We are a small team of 20. And we serve the children and young people, as Lou says, with the most complex needs in the country, the most vulnerable children. And it's been an absolute privilege to have served those children over my career, which I have done over the last 25 years in different guises. So thank you.
Oh, congratulations, and thank you. And thank you from all those children in Cornwall too. So the last award of the presentation of the Unsung Hero Award is to Ashley Simmons of Restormore Integrated Community Mental Health. And I think that Ali Bartlett is here to receive the award on her behalf. So hello, Ali. And Ashley was nominated by Alison Pedler, and I'm going to read her citation. Ashley is without doubt one of the most respected managers I have ever worked with within mental health. She not only possesses all the core skills needed by a manager, i.e. effective communication, listening, leadership, conflict resolution, collaboration, ethical principles, but she also has courage, a huge heart and love for the team, which shines through everything, including the challenges of the last year with the COVID-19 situation. Ash is a manager with a heart and compassion for her team. She has never forgotten where she came from and appreciates every single person within her team equally, no matter what your specialism or experience. Ash is very proud of the Restormore team and always appreciates everything everyone does by ensuring she speaks to every member of the team, especially on a Friday, checking how their week has been, any problems, and thanking them for the work they have done as though it is very personal to her. Ash as a manager is always professional, fair and honest with staff, even in difficult circumstances, and I know that she goes above what's expected by protecting staff, but at the same time keeping everyone informed, even when having to make very difficult decisions. Ash always has time for everyone, even when that means working later into the day or coming into work earlier to resolve issues and take the pressure off staff involved. Ash is a true leader and inspires us to want to obtain just a few of the qualities that she possesses. Clients and staff are at the heart of everything Ash does. She will challenge managers' decisions when they will negatively impact on her team and the clients we care for, even when this causes difficulties for her. Ash never faults in her presentation. She is true to her beliefs. She truly cares about others and even to the detriment of her own well-being. She's a very courageous woman with whom I'm very proud to have worked. That's a pretty lovely and powerful citation, and I'm delighted to present an Unsung Hero Award to Ashley Simmons. I don't know if you want to say anything, Ali, on her behalf.
Yeah, I'm just listening to that. It's just a really fantastic example of compassionate leadership at its best. So I'm very proud and honoured to receive this award on her behalf. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to all these very deserving recipients, and thank you to all working in the NHS in Cornwall for their bravery, flexibility, personal sacrifice and dogged determination. Thanks echoed, I know, by all our Cornish communities. And thank you to all those in the Chief Executive's office and the communications team who have worked so hard to gather the nominations and coordinate all the socially distanced arrangements for today in this lovely chapel. Thank you.
And finally from me, so I'm Kate Shields, the Chief Executive of RCHT. I just want to say thank you to Kate for coming along and presenting the awards, and just to reflect on how many amazing people we've got around Cornwall who very quietly get on doing their jobs every day, and as Kate said at the start, at times putting themselves at risk to make sure that they're here when our people, the people we love, need them the most. So thank you for giving us the opportunity to celebrate them today.
Thank you, it's been a pleasure.